Diogenes of Sinope, one of the most prominent figures of Cynicism, lived a life that challenged the norms and conventions of his time. Known for his ascetic lifestyle, sharp wit, and disdain for materialism and societal norms, Diogenes' philosophy has left an indelible mark on the world. This video will explore the life, teachings, and legacy of Diogenes, weaving together the fragments of his philosophy and anecdotes to present a comprehensive picture of this enigmatic thinker. But before we continue, remember to engage with us down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you found Diogenes' philosophy as fascinating as we did. Diogenes was born in Sinope, modern-day Sinope, Turkey, around 412 or 404 BCE. His father, Hicesius, was a banker, but Diogenes' early life took a dramatic turn when he was involved in a scandal for defacing the currency, leading to his exile from Sinope. He relocated to Athens, where he would make his mark as a philosopher. In Athens, Diogenes became a pupil of Antisthenes, who was a student of Socrates and the founder of Cynicism. Embracing the Cynic philosophy, Diogenes adopted an ascetic lifestyle, rejecting societal norms and material possessions in pursuit of virtue and self-sufficiency. His lifestyle and philosophy often led him to clash with the authorities and earned him a reputation for being eccentric and provocative. Upon arriving in Athens, Diogenes sought out Antisthenes, who initially rejected him. Undeterred, Diogenes persisted, saying, "Strike, for you will find no wood hard enough to keep me away from you, so long as I think you've something to say." His perseverance paid off, and he eventually became Antisthenes' most famous pupil. Under Antisthenes' guidance, Diogenes embraced the principles of Cynicism, which advocated for a life in accordance with nature and the rejection of materialism and social conventions. Cynicism, derived from the Greek word kynikos, meaning dog-like, was a school of thought that advocated for a life in accordance with nature, free from the artificial constraints of society. The Cynics believed that virtue was the only good, and that it was achieved through self-discipline and living a life of simplicity. Diogenes, in particular, took these principles to their extreme, using his life as a living example of Cynic beliefs. Diogenes believed that to achieve happiness, one must live in accordance with nature. This meant rejecting the artificial desires and conventions imposed by society. He famously lived in a large ceramic jar, or pithos, in Athens, which symbolized his rejection of material comforts and his commitment to a simple life. One of the core tenets of Diogenes' philosophy was the rejection of materialism. He believed that possessions were a hindrance to true happiness and virtue. He is known to have owned only a cloak, a staff, and a small bag. In one famous incident, Diogenes saw a child drinking water from his hands and immediately discarded his own cup, saying, "A child has beaten me in plainness of living." The life of Diogenes is replete with anecdotes that illustrate his philosophy and character. These stories, passed down through the ages, offer a glimpse into the mind of the Cynic philosopher and his uncompromising pursuit of virtue. One of the most famous anecdotes about Diogenes involves his search for an honest man. He was often seen wandering the streets of Athens during the day with a lantern, proclaiming, "I am looking for an honest man." When asked if he had found one, Diogenes would reply, "No, I have not." This act was a direct critique of the dishonesty and corruption he perceived in society. Diogenes' encounter with Alexander the Great is one of the most well-known stories about him. According to legend, Alexander visited Diogenes and found him lying in the sun. When Alexander asked if there was anything he could do for him, Diogenes simply replied, "Yes, stand out of my sunlight." This response demonstrated Diogenes' indifference to power and wealth, and his commitment to living a life free from external influences. But the story does not end there. Alexander, impressed by Diogenes' boldness and independence, reportedly said, "If I were not Alexander, I would wish to be Diogenes." This statement reveals Alexander's admiration for Diogenes' uncompromising commitment to his principles and his freedom from worldly desires. Diogenes, true to form, replied with characteristic wit and self-assurance, "If I were not Diogenes, I would still choose to be Diogenes." This rejoinder encapsulates Diogenes' belief in the superiority of a simple and virtuous life, unencumbered by the trappings of power or prestige. If you're enjoying this exploration of Diogenes' life, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps us out. Diogenes was known for his unconventional behavior and his willingness to challenge societal norms. During the Macedonian siege of Corinth, when people were panicking and preparing for war, Diogenes was seen rolling a barrel up and down the street. When asked why he was doing this, he replied, "I am rolling my barrel so as to be seen to be doing something." The story of Diogenes rolling the barrel has often been compared to the myth of Sisyphus, a figure in Greek mythology condemned to eternally roll a boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down each time he neared the summit. This myth, famously analyzed by Albert Camus in the 20th century, symbolizes the absurdity and futility of human existence. Diogenes' action of rolling the barrel can be seen as a metaphor for the Sisyphean task, highlighting the pointlessness of many human activities, especially in the face of existential threats such as war. Just as Sisyphus' endless labor is devoid of meaning, Diogenes' rolling of the barrel mocks the empty and repetitive pursuits that people engage in, urging them to seek higher, more meaningful endeavors aligned with nature and virtue. And to all you lovely folks out there taking a stroll, why not consider subscribing to our channel? You'll never miss out on more thought-provoking content like this. Hit that subscribe button and join our community. Another notable story from Diogenes' life is his capture by pirates and subsequent sale into slavery. When asked what he could do, Diogenes replied, "Govern men." He was bought by a wealthy Corinthian named Xeniades, who put him in charge of educating his sons. Diogenes accepted his fate with characteristic equanimity and reportedly lived a comfortable life with Xeniades, teaching his children philosophy and virtue. Diogenes often used shock tactics to make his philosophical points. One such incident involved him masturbating in public. When reprimanded for his actions, Diogenes replied, "If only it were as easy to banish hunger by rubbing my belly." This crude display was meant to criticize the prudishness and hypocrisy of societal norms regarding natural human functions. Diogenes frequently engaged in public debates and demonstrations to expose the absurdity of societal conventions. In one famous incident, Plato defined a human being as a featherless biped. In response, Diogenes plucked a chicken and brought it into Plato's academy, proclaiming, "Here is Plato's human." This act forced Plato to revise his definition. Diogenes exemplified the Cynic principle of self-sufficiency, autarkia. He believed that happiness and virtue could be attained by relying solely on oneself. When asked what wine he liked best, Diogenes responded, "That which belongs to another," highlighting his belief that reliance on external possessions or comforts was unnecessary. Diogenes' philosophy and way of life have had a lasting impact on Western thought. His ideas influenced not only the development of Cynicism, but also later philosophical movements such as Stoicism. Diogenes' emphasis on living in accordance with nature and rejecting materialism can be seen in the works of Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics, while differing in some respects from the Cynics, were greatly influenced by Diogenes' ideas. The Stoic emphasis on self-discipline, virtue, and living in accordance with nature can be traced back to the teachings of Diogenes and the Cynics. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, often referred to Diogenes as an exemplar of the Stoic ideals. Epictetus praised Diogenes for his ability to live a life free from external influences and material possessions, seeing him as a model of Stoic endurance and self-control. Diogenes' life demonstrated the Stoic ideal of apatheia, or freedom from passion, through his indifference to wealth, power, and societal approval. Diogenes' philosophy continues to resonate in the modern world, particularly in discussions about materialism, authenticity, and the nature of happiness. His critique of societal norms and emphasis on simplicity and virtue offer valuable insights for contemporary debates on consumerism and the pursuit of a meaningful life. In an age of consumerism and social media, where people often measure their worth by their possessions and social status, Diogenes' teachings serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of inner virtue and self-sufficiency. His life encourages us to question societal expectations and to seek fulfillment through personal integrity and authentic living. Diogenes has also left a mark on popular culture, with his character appearing in literature, art, and philosophy throughout the centuries. His life and teachings have inspired countless works, from paintings and sculptures to plays and novels, highlighting the enduring fascination with his radical approach to life. Artists and writers have been drawn to Diogenes' uncompromising character and his ability to challenge the status quo. His life serves as a rich source of inspiration for those who seek to question and defy societal conventions. Diogenes' defiant spirit and sharp wit continue to captivate audiences, ensuring his place in the cultural and intellectual history of the Western world. Diogenes of Sinope was a philosopher who lived his beliefs to the fullest, challenging the norms and conventions of his time with his radical lifestyle and sharp wit. His philosophy of cynicism, with its emphasis on living in accordance with nature, rejecting materialism, and critiquing societal norms, has left a lasting legacy on Western thought. Through his Anecdotes and Teachings, Diogenes continues to inspire and provoke, reminding us of the importance of authenticity, simplicity, and the pursuit of virtue in our own lives. By examining the life and philosophy of Diogenes, we gain a deeper understanding of the Cynic worldview and its relevance to both ancient and modern contexts. Diogenes' unwavering commitment to his principles and his fearless critique of societal values challenge us to reflect on our own lives and the choices we make in the pursuit of happiness and fulfillment. His legacy endures as a testament to the power of living a life true to one's convictions, free from the constraints of societal expectations. So, whether you're wandering the streets, chilling in the park, or just relaxing at home, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means the world to us.